Hi friends, Kim from Stamping Imperfection. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I would love to have you click subscribe and click the bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video. And I would also love it if you give this video a thumbs up. So I am going to do a little bit of easy foiling today. I'm playing with some parts of the Hedgehog Hollow subscription kit I got. I just wanted to make a quick Halloween card, and I'm going to use this stencil to use the boo. It came with this pattern paper, which I cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. I've got a piece of orange that I'm going to stencil that sentiment on, and I'm going to use the Transfer Gel Duo because I can then add that foil, and this is amethyst foil. Isn't that pretty? It's a pretty purple. And I can add that with my die cutting machine. So I cut down a piece of black cardstock at 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I'll score and fold it at 4 1/4. And my orange cardstock, by the way, is 2 inches by 5 1/4 inch so that it fits right across that panel with the bats. I also created a sentiments from the sentiment set, Something Wicked This Way Comes. I've got some orange crown jewel gems and some black crown jewel gems from Maker Forte, and I'm going to end up using the black ones on this. And I'm also going to end up using the back of that pattern paper. At the last minute I changed my mind, and I still haven't decided whether I'm happy that I did that or not. So I'm just going to add my stencil to the top of that orange cardstock piece that I have there, and I'm putting a little piece of low-tack tape on the top of that. That is Spellbinder's Best Ever Craft tape, and I actually quite like it. So that sentiment set, by the way, is fantastic. It's got a lot of really fun sentiments, really unique sentiments. I've got my palette knife here, and I just took a little bit of that Transfer Gel Duo out because I can use my laminator to add foil to this, or I can use my Big Shot and add a lot of pressure. And I spread that pretty thinly over the top, and I'm removing my stencil, and I'm going to leave that for about an hour to dry. And I'm going to go now immediately to my sink and clean my stencil and my palette knife, because if you don't do that, that paste will be permanently on there. So this sat for about an hour. It's nice and dry. You can see that it changed from white to clear, so it's easy to tell that it's ready. And I've got my Spellbinders out here. This is my Platinum 6 machine. And I'm just cutting down a piece of this foil to fit over the top of it. And I'll just put that down on top of it. Now, notice that the back of the foil is silver and the purple is on the top. I actually want to put the silver part against the dried Transfer Gel Duo there. And I kind of like push it on and smooth it over those letters. And I have done this without bothering to put it through my die cutting machine, and just used a bone folder and just, burnished it and rubbed it across, and that actually worked really, really well. But to make sure that I'm really getting good coverage of the foil onto those letters, I ran it through my die cutting machine, and I like the results of this. And I always do still just run my bone folder across each of the letters just to make sure. And if you have an inexpensive little laminator like I have, that's also a nice way to do it. I was just too lazy to get that out today and plug it in. So that's all ready, and now I can just put my card together, which is nice. So this is a really quick card, and I love having a little bit of Halloween paper. The kit came with 12 pieces of paper, and I'm so happy it came with only 12. So when I flipped that over and realized I like those orange stars with the, like, this is almost more dramatic, and I made a very quick decision to flip it over, and still part of me is like, I really liked the bats and the white background. So either one of these I think is a win. Maybe I'll make another one with the leftover piece of the bat paper and make the same card with the white. So I'm just gluing everything together with my glue tube there. And the glue does dry matte and clear. So I actually stamped my sentiment and cut my sentiment down off camera, and I'm just adding some foam to that, and I'm going to center that right underneath the boo. And I'll use the mat that I have here, like I'm moving it over and lining it up so I can actually make sure that it is in the middle of that card. And then I just have to add some crown jewel gems, and I feel like there's definitely enough orange here, so I'm just going to add some black, and I'm going to put some dots of glue down first. I'll end up doing 5 of these all together, and I'm using my magic wand tool here, which is a jewel pick on one end, and it is the sticky jewel picker on the other end. So it's like a craft pick and a jewel pick. And I really like that tool. It's one of my favorite tools. So I just want to add a couple more, and I like the little detail of the black. And then I decide that this kit came with a really nice big set of classic Halloween images with a, like, the images have a slightly different twist because there's a lot of, they have a nice swirly pattern inside them. So I decided that I wanted to actually stamp one of the bat, like there's a bat stamp, like look at all those stamps that came in that. And you can make a ton of cards and backgrounds and things with those stamps. So I'm going to stamp one of them. I think this little bat is cute. For some reason, it reminds me of Grandpa Munster on the original Munster TV show, which I used to watch after school because it was on every day after school. And I used to watch it on TV, black and white. It was a fun show. So I'm adding 2 of the smaller squares, and I'm putting him in one of the O's there. And I think he turned out pretty cute. I just used some Copic markers. I used N7, N5, N3, and yes, those are the ones I used. I just used 3 markers. And I did pull my eraser out. I got a little bit of, a couple spots of foil next to the exclamation point. So I just used my sanded eraser and cleaned that off. And now I'm pulling out my super sharp craft pick and just getting the other little bits off and cleaning that edge up a little bit. And I like the way that looks. It comes off so easily. It's amazing. With a sanded eraser, you need to be careful that you don't take the color off the cardstock. So I pulled out the super pointy craft pick that was sitting next to me, and then I just touched it up with a little bit more foil there on the edge of the exclamation point, and that worked beautifully. That's all I needed to do, and that completes my card. So simple. So I'm sure you have Halloween goodies in your stash that you can create Halloween cards with and add foil on. If you have stencils, you can easily add foil details with the DecoFoil Transfer Gel Duo. I'll put links to that below. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Have a very crafty day.